Yeah, happy with the start to the year. The biggest concern coming into the opener for us was not doing the exhibition. So just the only fear coming into it was, would the guys be too amped up? Would they be real jittery? But I thought, minus the turnovers and some lapses on defense, pretty happy with the way the guys kind of, hit the ground running. And, we're able to play, two halves where, the intensity really didn't wane too much in the second half. And we were obviously allowed to, play a ton of guys and not play anybody over, the 23 and, 23-41, so.
Questions, guys? Through a microphone.
Dan, it seemed like you avoided a lot of the things that often happen in the first game. You didn't take the foot off the gas. You didn't, maybe as you mentioned, not having jitters. You didn't react to the level of competition. Is that something that, as first games go, is this one of the better ones you've had?
Yeah, I think so. And the whole theme with the team has been we should hit the ground running. When you return 8 guys that played a significant role on a team, you're getting an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament and, playing top 25 level basketball pretty much, the entire COVID year in terms of the efficiency of both ends and the quality of how we played. Losing such a big piece like James obviously hurts, but everyone's a year better, a year more mature as a player. And, we expected to hit the ground running. And when you have a crowd like that, when you have a student section like that on opening night, it's hard not to get out there and perform at a high level. Our students, that was, so exciting to see that type of student attendance for the opener. But we got unbelievable student fans here. They did it first night. Again, no act, 6,000 kids just about. So tonight they were able to see us play because we got both baskets up. Look, facilities guy over there.
Yeah, offensively, you like the spacing and the ball movement seemed pretty impressive, and obviously the shots fell. I mean, did it kind of go almost exactly as planned, from an offensive standpoint tonight?
Yeah, I think the strength of the team is, we could do a lot of different things, and the value of playing the two completely different types of scrimmages in terms of the opponents, the secret scrimmages, were that we could really identify, the best course of action for us to attack at the offensive end. And so, we've got our wings are, bigger guys that we could post, and we could put so much pressure on the paint with the dribble drive, with the post up, that we should get incredible looks at 3. And I would like to see us shoot more than the 13. I'd probably want to be a little bit more in that like 18 to 20 range in terms of attempts. Some of that would come from RJ playing more minutes, Jordan being healthy, Isaiah finding his way into a couple.
Obviously, Adama had a physical probably advantage tonight, but he's going to have that a lot this year. How tough a matchup is he even for guys his size? He seems to have developed even more moves than last year. Yeah,
people are going to have to trap him, or you really surround him, because he's a special guy, and he's, I think from an offensive standpoint, one of the best low post scorers in college basketball potentially this year. His touch and with either hand it's uncanny, and he's really starting to understand how to get that deep position. And we would have probably thrown it to him more if we didn't want to kind of get some other guys a feel. But we're going to play through him a lot. Him and RJ, and Tyrese are they're going to be three real key guys for us.
Dan, you forced 29 turnovers. What did you like about the way your defense played?
Yeah, I thought that for the most part, we did what we did by being in the right spots. I think we got extended a little bit. We had some ball screen, overly aggressive with the hedge that put us in some compromising situations. But, we're tough to score against. RJ, RJ's tough on the ball. You have two wings out there that are 6'6" and 6'7", with Isaiah, who's one of the best defensive front court players in the country, and then what Adama does, and then when you bring it in more length with the Cook and Tyler, that the court shrinks for people. But I thought that we didn't out-talent them at the defensive end where we were just superior. We were in the right spots, I think, for a majority of the time. We did have a couple of breakdowns, and Ostrovsky hurt us a little bit, and Scantlebury.
Dan, Adama scored, 6 early points. The first 4 of the second half seemed to be calling for the ball a lot. Can you talk a little bit about, he seems for a sophomore to have a little bit of a leadership element to him as well? I
mean, we saw it last year, the way he came in here from the day he stepped foot on campus. He's a special type of player that you get to coach, that his preparation and what he puts into his success, how badly he wants his program to succeed. He's just a different type of animal, man. Just different type of guy with the way he shows up daily. We saw that last year as a freshman, and you saw signs of how great he played late in the year, particularly at Seton Hall, Big East tournament. Special guy.
Dan, is Tyrese just a touch more explosive? Or am I reading that right? He looked like he's moving with a certain explosiveness.
I think Tyrese, I think, will be one of the guys that may benefit the most from the crowd, playing in front of fans this year. I think he's also, his first year was kind of like a tough COVID year. It was a kind of a weird year to play your first year with a new team. So he had a full summer, he had a full preseason, he had a full off-season, postseason. And I feel like he's just a lot more comfortable here now. And he's a versatile guy. You could post him. He could drive the ball. He could get all over the offensive glass. When he takes good threes, he could make them. Finishing at the rim, obviously takes things to a completely different level for him.
Dan, I think you gave Andre the most minutes tonight. What did you see from him in that, and what he was able to accomplish?
Yeah, he just disruptive. He, the 3 steals, the block, but the length, his ability to get it off the defensive, his length is incredibly disruptive. Just being able to turn a defensive rebound into a transition opportunity with the, when he punches it and gets downhill, he could be really, really dynamic, creating early offense. I thought it was a good first run for him. He's got to avoid when he makes that first mistake, that may be a little bit high risk, to then the next possession do something riskier. When you do something high risk and you turn the ball over, or you do something with the ball, maybe shot selection wise that you shouldn't do. That next possession, you got to kind of play it a little bit closer to the vest so it doesn't snowball. I think he had like a little snowball stretch today that he's just got to avoid. That's the next step for him. But you can see, I think his perimeter shot will come around. I mean, he looks pure at the free throw line. I'm not sure it even hit the rim on 5 of the 6 makes, and his 3 was in and out. He's just going to get better and better.
You talk about the not letting the foot off the gas. Are you confident that this group is mature enough and focused enough that, on Saturday they'll continue with, not get high on whatever success they have, but just kind of remain laser focused through, the whole season, basically?
Yeah, I mean, it's human nature to get complacent, or to think, things are going to be easy, but my teams don't really have a history of playing that way. So that's not a huge concern. And the other thing, especially when Jordan, it is available to us, and he's obviously day-to-day right now. We got some great news because we feared it could have been potentially worse. There's a lot of pressure for you to do the right thing on the court on this team. If you don't, I'm not going to play you. So, now if 8 or 9 guys got their head up their ass, now I got now I'm in trouble. But, that peer pressure finally, when you get to year 4, that's why the hope is that we've got a better team this year, is because we have more pieces that fit, and just more good players. So we should be able to peer pressure people into playing the right way every single day, because if you don't, there's somebody capable that could, take your minutes.
Dan, with the depth you have on the roster, how big of a challenge is it for you to find the right rotation, right pairings out there?
I think it'd be easier in a tighter game. I think today was. You wanted to get guys an opportunity. I think we were able to get maybe 10, 11 guys in the first half. I mean, maybe even 11. I'm not even sure. I think we got every scholarship guy a run in the first half. I think some of these games where you're trying to get like Sampson's feet wet and Rasul some minutes, and obviously giving Richie a chance there to see if these guys can really be able to help us this year. I think it's tougher in these type of games than it actually is going to be, in the tighter games.
The way you guys took control of that game so quickly, did you see your players as having a certain swagger or confidence that lets they know they're pretty good?
Yeah, but I've said this a lot during the different times about this team, is we didn't have the March run that UConn is accustomed to, but these guys won high leverage games in the last 3-4 weeks of the season, and pretty much these 8 guys all had a hand in us, winning a significant home game that we could not lose to get the at-large, the win at Xavier, the win at Seton Hall, the not blowing home games that would probably knock us out of the bubble while other bubble teams bubbles were bursting. Having to win at Georgetown when they had won, 10 of they were on some crazy stretch at the end of the year. So you get a lot of guys that notwithstanding the way that the last 45-07 went, they believe in themselves, and they're a lot closer. This group is a lot closer. I think they understand how the chemistry's got to be.
You brought up Rasul, Sampson, Richie. What did you see from them in those minutes, and kind of was it as anticipated? Do you see them kind of playing a bigger role down the line?
Yeah, I mean, Sewell did some nice things. He made some freshman mistakes. He's been hurt a lot in the preseason, so he was in the most challenging position. I mean, Sampson's head was spinning. It almost popped off and went into the student section. I mean, he was just he was playing 1,000 miles an hour, and he should be wearing a neck brace. He was, that was for him. He'll learn a lot from that opportunity out there. And I thought, Richie should have been a lot more assertive. I probably should have went to Richie even before Sampson, because Richie's been practicing really well for the last week. So that was probably a mistake that I made. Richie probably earned that fourth front court player in the game, but they'll all grow and get a lot better from that.
And just on RJ, he seemed to look very confident shooting the ball and, kind of in command. What did you see from RJ?
I mean, RJ was what we needed him to be. He was a dog on the ball. RJ could really shoot the heck out of the ball. I thought he was smart with the way that he ran his team, and that's, we're going to need, that's got to be his kind of baseline game there. 15, 5-6 assists is what we need him to get close to for us this year. Some games he's going to have to go get us 20. 20, 20 plus. Some games he's going to, the others are going to play so well that he could, go get us, 8 and 10 and 10 assists. So he's just going to have to do what's required.
Just, can you just give an update on Jordan? What's his status at this point? And with Corey not dressing, was that indicative of, was there an injury, or is he maybe what you're...
So yeah, Jordan had took an injury on Saturday, and he's day to day. I don't know, who do we play? When do we play? Saturday. We play Saturday versus Coppin State, so he's got a chance to play in that one. I don't know that he will miss much beyond that if he misses that next one, game 3. We'll see about the weekend game. So it's an ankle. Yeah, we'll do something. We'll have something on Corey for you guys tomorrow. Thank you.